Coming from what you said, people like those in the ruling party, the president and all of that, they need to be very mindful of what the focus is. Because as you've just said, everybody and their aunt feels free to comment on what's going on in terms of governance and all of that. Especially depending on where it's coming from, not all of it will be complimentary or supportive, but those who are running the policy know. Opposition might not want to come out and say it. I saw a headline somewhere that the prices of food is coming down. There are actual, small steps in terms of progress that we are noticing that can only, cascade into a flood, given President Tinubu's determination and focus. And it seems, where does this energy come from? It seems limitless energy. And the man was still promising to work even harder at the job that he has been given.
Seriously, the president is a rare being in terms of focus, in terms of ideas, in terms of capacity to apply himself, and of course, the president is a hands-on supervisor. He superintends, closely, micromanages, as it were. So he combines a lot of qualities, and I think that's the kind of person we need at this point in time in the life of the country. He has to work hard because he has a vision of what Nigeria should be, and that is why he conceptualized policies that his predecessors all this while had avoided, because these policies were actually meant to change the paradigm, the economic paradigm, but in changing, it would of course impact the standard and the lifestyle of Nigerians. So, but it takes a person of courage, to go ahead and do that, and of course, it also takes someone that determines not to be too political. Because if he had been political, his consideration would be how would the people, how would they review him, how would they rate him, and of course, when you start a tenure, within 3 years, you are ready for another election. And if you have not delivered in those 3 years, it becomes an issue, trying to pacify the electorate, as it were. But he took that risk, which is a huge risk. Not many politicians don't take that kind of risk, But I think he took that risk, believing in himself and understanding his own capacity to deliver. And if we are talking of a vote of confidence on him, it was principally pivoted on how far the economy had performed under him. And we cannot argue that. The data are showing, positively that the economy is growing, getting stronger. We noted food price falling. Food price is falling. It has been falling for the past 1 month or so. And everybody is giving testimony and witnesses to it, including the media too. So, but what I also want to, of course, from your review of that position in terms of allowing people to talk, I think this is one of the rarity, of a reformer. Most reformers are convenient with just their echo chamber scenario, where they are the only one, that talks, and whoever talks just amplify what they have said. I note, with interest that perhaps the most referenced economic power or a reforming zeal that led to economic power had been in Singapore. And when Nigerians, usually at any fora, stand up to talk about an economy that went under reforms and all that, the first reference is Singapore. The next recently had been Rwanda. And I try to tell people, do you know what it takes for the Singapore experiment to be delivered? More than, years of absolute authority. The manager, the author of the reforms in Singapore did not allow for plural thoughts. There was no pluralism in the politics of Singapore. So, to a large extent, when you now compare that to what we're experiencing in Nigeria, you have a president that is encouraging people, of course, to be to also vent their other side, vent the other opinions, so that we can, of course, meet at the marketplace of thoughts. And I think Governor Uzodinma was clear on that during the meeting, noting that the opposition should be made to resurrect themselves. They should come and be more active in the space, which is important, because when you have a democracy with an opposition that had more or less gone to bed, it's as if you have a near one-party state. So we just hear once in a while how the opposition would protest that the president is turning the country into a one-party state, and I wonder what is expected to be the role of this same opposition. Stand up, make your points known, analyze issues, and do not just be pedestrian about it. Contextualize properly, conceive your thought properly, and deliver properly in the public space, so that people will appreciate your point of thought too. So it's important we have that opposition, as it were. Unfortunately, PDP, like Governor Uzodinma noted, had also become fractious, more or less. We want them together. I believe it is for the good of democracy if we have PDP and all the Social Democratic Party and other parties talking. That's democracy. Engaging policies marshaled or deployed by the administration, so that we can have the bond benefit of different dimensions of policy conceptualization and implementation.